in each and every class. Okay, that you can do during this class time period. Your registration number, something you can put, so that I will use this data for your attendance purpose. Am I clear? In call message, this is chat box is there, na? You can use to write you are present like that. So I can take it out later on. So this will be one of the book. Okay, the content you can check it yourself. So I'm just leaving it now. How we are going to have literature search on this, statistical issues, and some scientific communication, how we are writing paper, all those aspects are also there. So this book is really very nice, and I will try to follow mostly on this. Apart from that also, so this is list. This is research methodology by Kothari. I use this book probably because this is more segment is there. Object, you see, this book looks very nice from your perspective, because you will find some point and you need point to write something, right? So in this case, I will say this book is good for someone who is more interested in getting book. Okay, because it is having subheadings very clearly, type of research approaches. Sometime I will speak from this book also. So research methodology introduction part possibly will be doing. This book is nice. Why nice? Because this has some specific subheadings that I liked. Otherwise, this book is not really great to study. Okay. So this book is also important. This whole book is shared. You are free to get it from the folder I have already shared. You can check it. So 1 and 2 book is sufficient. There are still some few books. If you want to read, you are always free to read. Research methodology by Ranjit Kumar, research methodology, another book is there. Then I am having scientific writing books are also there. That will be some portion of this thing I will be talking in. David Lindsay. This is very, very nice book for scientific writing. A small segment of our things are there. After that, at the end, you will have something on statistics. Fundamental of biostatistics is sufficient for that. You need not study more. Some of the components are actually lecture material. All those PPT and lecture material does not mean that I am the author, not necessarily. Some of the lecture material may be downloaded from some sources. Of course, I will try to have in valid sources. And some, understanding the research process. You see, I have talked on that. But anyway, this is very, really simple things to discuss. I will discuss them slowly. You can also check. I am having another research methodology chapter from PPT, but I can have still more. Okay. So how people are doing and what is research, what is not research. Possibly I should speak on that also. Very quickly I can discuss. And then will come how we are going to do the analysis and how can I have the data. Many things are there. So some of the slides I will also discuss in class. So basically this is the starting point when I'm coming into this research methodology. This semester your subject code is little change. So basically if I ask you, I would like to have little bit discussion on this lecture, primarily which is discussing on basically how the research is going, how research is defined, how it is classified. Possibly I will go through it. I'm going through it just for why I'm going through these slides is primary intention is that you should have some coherent material. It is not that you will learn much great things from those slides. Okay, you cannot expect like that. And then I will come to today's discussion. Our discussion today is how we are, you remember what is the topic we have given? Resources gathering data. So basically when I am doing any research or anyone is planning to do the research, what is the first thing he should do? I'm using this slide so that I can talk and I can speak. You see, I'm adding something in this slide and it will be synced later on. I'll be sharing my screen now. Oh, it is already shared, thankfully. I'll be speaking on that for some time. So when anyone is coming to do some research on some topic, there is something you need to know. First one, everyone will ask, sir, when you are going for doing any research, what is the motivation, right? You should have some motivation. Motivation is actually the bigger picture. Okay, I'm sorry. So when I'm planning to do some research, that means I have some goal and motivation. Motivation normally I will see is something personalized, but goal everyone can see. So for example, I am going to do a research on preparation of some nanomaterial. I'll be taking some example. Most of the time my example will definitely come from my domain, but if you have some other interest, some example I can also give from other domain. So what is your goal? Goal can have a bigger picture. We want to have, for example, let me tell you, I'm going to prepare some nanomaterial which can absorb some of the heavy metal from water. Why I am going to do? Because possibly I am going to treat water. Why? Because the treated water will be healthy for anyone can consume, it will be good for agriculture, for everything. So basically I am having a goal to have a water treatment modules. Possibly I will try to devise, which will be definitely low cost, not definitely, I will say possibly low cost, and I'm going to prepare some nanomaterial which will do the job. So I'm having something I have envisioned. I'm having a motivation to give these people maybe some solution to these problems. So once I'm having this idea and I'm having a goal, I have also find out a route or tool. What is my tool? Okay, I'm preparing some nanomaterial, and this thing I will test whether it can absorb some heavy metal or not. So that means I have a target. Now question will come, which heavy metal will prepare, what nanomaterial will prepare, how do you test that it absorbs? So many how, which, where, all those questions will come. And you are supposed to have a plan, a design where you can do this job. Of course, this will come under your method. But before you are going to do any study on this, what is the very important part for you? You think like a student. If I'm giving a problem like this, what is the first thing you should do? First, you need to know which material I will use, what nanomaterial I should use, or what heavy metals are mostly available in water. You have to understand, it is not that everything will be available. Some weather, some location, then where you will get this information? You have many questions. You may ask, sir, which heavy metal I will take? Do you think I should simply say, take mercury, take chromium, take cadmium? I should say like this? No, I should not say. I need to know how this problem is relevant to your domain or location. There is no contamination of mercury, for example, in southern India or India, and I am going to remove mercury. Is there really important? But how do you know? Automatically, then you will say, sir, I am getting so many news in Facebook and newspaper. No. Please avoid this idea completely. Any news on social media, whatever you are going to get, these are not at all useful for your research. No such information can be used to prove that this is the case. We only rely on scientific documents. Now you say, what are the scientific documents? You can say scientific documents can be of different types. First type is your journal, international journal. You can have some book or book chapters. In rare cases, we can also look for some news. Okay, but of course, international news or national news channels, news print, imprint. So each news, if you see very closely, any news, definitely you are checking newspaper at your home, right? Maybe printed version, if you check, they also has some volume number. Have you checked anything newspaper heading? They will also have volume, issue, those things comes for newspaper also. So if it is a national news of standard, they will also maintain this volume and issue, they maintain. Similarly, journal also, book also, they have author, where it's published, who is the publisher, so many. So these are all, particularly journal and books, are all primary source of information. News is also useful, but not preferably. Then you say, sir, when not to prefer? Yeah, news can also be preferable when there is no more or not much information on the domain. For example, when COVID-19 struck us at the early of 2020, right, January, February, do you think we had sufficient knowledge on that? Do you have book? Do you have journal on this? Sufficient research has been done? No, this is very new. So at that time, how you will get the information? Your news is also one of the important source. Not only news, possibly you may have visited, many of you might have visited World Health Organization websites, their daily updates. You might have visited CDC, Drug Control, US, or FDA, Food and Drug Administration. So these websites, which are international in nature, FDA, WHO, CDC, in our case ICMR, Government of India, this can be one reliable and important source, government or non-government organization. So these are the source you have to look for the articles. What article? You have to understand whether your work is really needed or not. Am I clear? So you need to understand whether your work is required or not, your study is valid or not. Why valid? I mean to say, so for example, your Mercury, I'm planning to do a study, and you are going to literature, you are going to book, journal, and you're finding so many people have done so much of work. What does it mean? Essentially, you need not do the work. Someone has already done. Why should you do that? So basically, you need to have very strong and the very early literature search. You have to do that for many reasons. First reason is that to know whether your work is going to be any useful. Has anyone already done? If someone has exactly done your job, then you should not do that. Okay, exactly your plan, what you are planning, someone has already done, which is very unlikely. Nobody has this what you exactly thinking from your knowledge, somebody is stealing your idea. It is not possible, but some extent it will match. So you have to understand whether your work is important, is it useful, and then come if you find that nobody has done. So you are the first person to do. If you are the first person to do, then do you think there is many questions also? For example, nobody has done for removal of mercury. You will be the first person possibly. But simply not mercury. Mercury may be, for example, very contaminated in your state or in your district. So it is becoming relevant also. Nobody has done also. But if nobody has done, it also has a problem. What is the problem? If your work area is very new, what do you feel could be a problem if your work area is very new? Can I get any response from you?
We will not be knowing where to or what to go through.
Yes,
there won't
very
be
good.
any example set earlier.
Yeah, nice. We do not have any protocol also. At least some guideline protocol. Yes or no? You need to have something in guideline. You cannot develop everything. You need have some analytical method you need to know. So if it is completely new, then it will be a very, very big challenge. But fortunately, nothing is completely new, that there is no link with anyone. Science is always incremental development. Something new, something old, something different. So for example, I'm growing some microorganism which is producing a polymer, and this polymer may be very new. But this polymer is very, very new, but polymer is not new, right? Some other polymer, someone has done analysis by some method. So I should try to use his method, but some modification may be required in my case. So basically, we need to have literature review, some knowledge. You are doing with chromium, someone has done with maybe some other heavy metals, maybe lead, maybe cadmium. So some approach will be very similar. Some study component will be very similar. Something will be different. So you need to know literature is also important to know how to do, at least guideline. Not exactly same, but at least guiding you. You will be also need enrichment. You do not know everything at the day zero, right? Slowly you will also learn. When you will do something, you will slowly learn. When, for example, now when someone is doing this lab, my student is doing something analytical process. At the first day, she was very confused. Now she can do this activity what she is doing now without anything. She need not look into the protocol at all. She can develop, she can modify. So basically, it is important to know whether the research is novel, whether you are going to do this. You need to have literature search. You need, why your literature search? For two purpose: to know whether this is new or not, to know how can you approach this problem, how can you tackle this problem. And then once you are aware of those situations, you can proceed. So this is basically very, very important to have a good literature search. Before I'm coming to your slide, or maybe I am going to represent those slides so further, I would like to ask you, if I give you a problem, any problem, can you find out how to look for his literature? How will you look for that? Very, very important nowadays. So for example, I'm going to look for some nanomaterial I'm telling, which can remove cadmium. And my student, or maybe for example as a guide, or maybe now I assume that I'm a student and my guide has told that you have to work on cadmium removal using nanoparticle. So very difficult. I don't know anything at the day zero. Nanoparticle also I don't know. Cadmium removal also I don't know. So I need to search for literature. And now in this time period, in comparison to other time, when we were studying this BTech or MTech program, and now you are studying, there is a lot of difference. Now Google has taken care of all these exercises. Yeah, really, it is true. Google has taken care. But Google doesn't have the data. Google is only just referring you to some site, some domain, some link. So why not you using Google? Yeah, the first source will be always, I'll go for example, I'm going to look for cadmium removal. You see, I'm searching just cadmium removal, you see nanoparticles. Okay, I searched. So when you are doing a first search, this is also very important. You may think, sir, this is everyone knows. I know everyone knows that, but there is some reason why I'm showing you and how can you go for searching. First one is Google search, which will lead you into some papers, mostly papers, because this is scientific things, right? It is not in news kind of things. So all links are coming into papers, but some websites also. So when you are looking like this is general Google search. Nowadays, automatically, if it is a scientific content, first term it will suggest scholarly article for this. So I'll go to into scholarly articles. Now, what is this? This is known as Google Scholar. Google Scholar, I don't remember, but at least we are using it for around 7 or 8 years we are using minimum. I forgot exactly since when we are using. At least 7 to 10 years we are using this Google Scholar. You can check it when the Google Scholar was born by Googling itself. Now, if I ask you here, what does it looks like? Cadmium removal, nanoparticle, these are the papers. These are all leading to some journal. If I click it, for example, I am reaching a journal article, possibly. You see, this is a journal. Journal might be you be knowing right nowadays. This journal is a chemical engineering journal, name of the journal. Okay. This is published by Elsevier. Elsevier is a publisher. We will be talking about them later on, not now. We will go details. There are many publisher, international publisher. One can be Elsevier, someone you might be knowing, Springer. Do you know any publisher name? From your knowledge, any publisher you know? Indian or international for book? Anything
Omics
you know?
International. Omics International.
Yeah, you know it. Yes, correct. Omics came very recently. These are all very new upcoming publication house is coming up. But this Elsevier is very old. Wiley is very, very old. Oxford University Press, very old publisher and reputable publisher. There are many, but just for few example, I'm telling. Mostly you will be dealing with journals. When you will be dealing with journal, the primary publishers are Elsevier. Sometime it is called Pergamon Press. It has some subdivision is also there. We will also have Springer. Now earlier it was Springer. Now it has become Springer Nature. They are connecting together. So you know this is like a company. Facebook has taken care, and maybe you are having another platform. Now Facebook is also handling WhatsApp. You see, they are all coming under same ownership. Similarly, Springer was separate entity. Nature Publishing Group was separate. Now they become together Springer Nature. We are having a good publisher like Wiley. Okay. We are having some other publisher like Taylor and Francis, which is moderately not so big as Springer or maybe Elsevier, but still. So at least 5-6 publisher we already know and possibly day to day will be using. This is a journal, chemical engineering journal. This is the title, and I can have the access. Possibly everyone will not have every access. This journal is accessible to me. This is my login ID automatically coming in because I'm using my computer. So this is the article. I can read the article, what they have done, what they are going to talk, what nanoparticle they have used. So this is full of information. I have to know it, right? So from this paper, I will see that cadmium removal is possible by noble adsorbent. What adsorbent they have used? Orange peel and Fe2O3. So iron oxide they have used for cadmium removal. At least I know that someone has done. So do you think that I can prepare the same work I will do? No, if I do the same work, nobody is going to accept me. But there will be some protocol. Every article, every research have some strategy. Even if I am not going through this work, I can tell you what they have done. First step will be how to prepare the nanosorbent, nanoparticle, how they are preparing. They have to talk. Then they have to say, okay, how much it is getting adsorbed. So I will prepare some cadmium solution in lab. Then I will give the nanoparticle. Then I will see how much is adsorbed. It is required. Then I will see how much time, how many repeatedly I can use the nanoparticles, repeated use of them. So if you go through more details, for example, here experimental is there. I can see what are the reagents I am using. I am talking about that. What is the characterization of adsorbent? So you see, I'm using what adsorbent I prepared, and I'm characterizing how does it look like, it is big or small, what is its scanning electron microscopy. Many study I will do about the adsorbent. Then I am doing the adsorption study. You see, I told you this is the natural, right? I'm going to do some study on adsorption process. I'll be talking how they are working. Then I am telling, I told you, remember reusability, because this kind of approach at the very beginning you might not have because you are very beginning work researcher, but you need to know when I'm planning something, there should be some other guarantee. I'm going to absorb something, so I'm going to prepare something, so I have to demonstrate that yes, it is absorbing cadmium or chromium. That validation is required. So I need to have exactly some work plan how I'm going to do. If you are going to do with some other nanoparticle, do you think this paper will be useful? Yes, this paper is still useful. The nanoparticle may be different, but your approach, how to validate your idea, how to test it, the outline approach will be always similar. So first thing is that we need to go for literature search, because I need to know what are the study they have done. This is one way I'm coming. From where I'm coming from Google Scholar. And it will also recommend some articles. So I'm coming here into a Science Direct. Science Direct, what is Science Direct? Science Direct is a platform for Elsevier. Elsevier is the journal. Science Direct is their platform. I can go to Science Direct and also I can search rather than Google Scholar. So one example, as I was telling, is search using Google Scholar. Okay, I can give, you know how to search Google Scholar, scholar.google.com or co.in, which country you are there, that country domain you can put. It will come like this. I can put the search term. Even I can also have some little more specific search also here. That is called advanced search for Google Scholar. If you want to know that this word should be there, I need cadmium must. With all the word I need this word. Anywhere you need or in the title, I need the word in title, cadmium. So that means I'm giving more stress. I need only cadmium cases. Which publisher you want to look for, which date. So I only need paper from 2020 or maybe 2015 to now, only recent paper I need. So I can give some more stringency. You see what is given? All in title. I'm using this, or you can just type also all in title, cadmium removal nanoparticle. These things must be there. You see, all paper it is referring, na? Cadmium is there, removal is there, it is highlighting also. You see, cadmium removal nanoparticle, cadmium removal nanoparticle, nanoparticle removal cadmium, nanoparticle cadmium removal. All the search. That means you can actually refine the search. And I have also given the timing from 2015. You see all papers they are suggesting. Some are, for example, this is from Elsevier, this is from Springer, this is again from Elsevier, this is from IWP Online, this is Elsevier, this is Taylor and Francis. All paper may not be freely available to you. So one search platform is always Google Scholar. Okay, so do you think that only I will learn Google Scholar and I will spend whole day? No. Google Scholar is good, but it is not very good because I do not have much control on this. How many data to analyze more things, there is some other platforms we can use. Okay, the other platform normally we will be using is another database that is called Scopus. You might be knowing, you might be heard of that. I'm going into Scopus. You see, I will be automatically logged in because I am using my own login ID. Okay, you can also search for Scopus, and Scopus is not free. Your institute must have subscription. Our institute have, so we do not have any problem on that. You see, if I click the institute button, complimentary access from Sun. Okay, I can change. This is I'm using because I am also a reviewer of Elsevier journal. I am also having some personalized access, complimentary access for Science Direct and Scopus for me. But for our institution also having the rights. So I can go into use the Korean Institute of Technology and Sciences. Our institute also subscribe. So you see, I logged in again. Now it is showing Korean Institute of Technology and Sciences. I am the author. Now I want to search something. The very basic things, you understand, we are already taking the class. So don't assume that we are simply telling a story. Our topic is for literature search, how to do. So for example, you are looking for the same way. I'm taking this example for this day. I will not change my example. Otherwise, you will be confused. Cadmium removal nanoparticles. I want to have this. Now, this is Scopus. Scopus is a database. Elsevier is again the author. But it is not that only it will look for some Elsevier journal. It will include every journal which are indexed. There is many indexing quality. So you see, if I ask you how many journals are there in the world, you will be really feeling dizzy. The Scopus itself will have some 50,000, 60,000 journals maybe there. We don't know exactly how many are there indexing. So number of journals is so many because so many fields, so many countries, so many journals, international, national. All journals are not good, right? You may find that some journal in Coimbatore, some press, they are also publishing some journal. But do you think they have the quality to maintain? Do you have the international audience? No. So journal quality is very, very important. It should be really international. It should be peer reviewed. There is a very good readership. So quality of the journal is also being important criteria. And that's why indexing is required. Who is indexing you? Scopus also index some of the journal. Okay, it has a long list of journals from the Scopus. They will search. Now, okay, so that means Scopus indexed means the journal have somehow moderately good quality. I will talk later on, because if I speak now, the whole thing will deviate. Okay, so I'll talk about that later on. So this is, you assume this is also one of the literature search engine. How can I search? So very first search is coming as document. Here I can search for articles, paper. I can search for author. So for example, you want to know that your teacher, how much publication, how many research article he has done. You can search it in author. You can put my name, for example, I'm testing, you can do, and you can search. You can search for affiliation also. You are looking for Korean Institute of Technology and Sciences. I want to know how many papers are coming and how they are doing. I want to search for affiliation. You can do any 3 category of search. Now, for example, documents. I am looking for document which will have cadmium, which will have removal, which will have nanoparticle. And how I want to search? You see, they are giving my option: article title, abstract, or keyword. Anywhere these 3 things are there. If I search now, you see how many article I am getting? I am getting 889 article. So when you are coming to do any research on your topic, first you search it. 889 documents. Okay, that is sufficient? No, because these articles sometime may have cadmium in article title or in the abstract. Abstract, you know, right? Abstract is the summary of the article. In any research article or chapter, book chapter, or any book chapter rather, they will have one small summary that is called abstract. Each paper will have some abstract. For example, this paper. What is the title? Adsorption of copper and cadmium ion by in situ doped nanocalcium carbonate high intensity chitin hydrogel. This is the title. Do you find cadmium here in the title? Yes. Removal you found? No. But now you see abstract. This abstract means the summary work. Some 200 word or within 200 word normally author has to write. So this is the summary. If you read it, now you will understand what they have done. Here also you see nanoparticle is there, removal is there. So that's why Scopus has written this paper as a result output, because it has nanoparticle in abstract, removal is there, title cadmium is there. So this paper is valid. But you see, this is not very strong. I need something strong. Strong means what I will do? I will look for art. I can edit the search. How can I edit the search? You see, I can say, no, I don't want article, abstract, keyword, everything. I only want to look for article title. Title means it is very, very important. Then only in title they will come, right? So I'm looking for these things in title itself. If I look for title, then only few paper will come, not everyone. You see, we had some 700 something, 700, 800. Now you see, I'm only having 73 documents. What does it mean? These 73 are very, very important. You should go and read them. You see, cadmium, removal, nanoparticle. Cadmium, nanoparticle, malachite green dye, removal. So cadmium is there, nanoparticle is there, removal is there. Okay, but unfortunately, this paper is not relevant. You see, if you read the title, you will understand. They are preparing cadmium sulfide nanoparticle. So their nanoparticle is cadmium sulfide. They are not removing cadmium. They are removing malachite green. So if you go through this paper, then you automatically understand that this is not relevant. This is the problem when I am searching something. Searching is done by automated method, right? Some logic and formula we are using. They are not human being, of course. So you need to finally see this paper is not valid. Now you see green copper oxide nanoparticle. So nanoparticle is fine. For lead, nickel, cadmium removal. Oh, this is okay. This paper I should read. So basically, I am getting a list of paper. I can see which year they were published. I can screen also. In 2022, 1 paper is published. 2021, 10 paper published. 2020, 9 paper published. If you want to read only 2021 paper, then you select them and put a limit. Then only 2021 and 20 paper will come. Only 11 papers out of that. So you see, Scopus gives you a platform where you can refine your search by year, by author, by which kind of article. It is article or conference paper, which journal they came. There is a journal name, Chemosphere, Journal of Hazardous Material, International Journal of Environmental Science and Tech. There are many journals. There are many journals. So if you want to look for only, I only look for chemosphere publication, then you can select it. Basically, you can select in many criteria based on affiliation. What is affiliation? The author where they are working. What is my affiliation? My current affiliation is Korea Institute of Technology and Sciences. So basically, I can search, I can finding by sponsor, which country I only look for paper from India, I can put a limit. Okay. I only look the paper which is English language, I can put. So basically, you can put those kinds limiting conditions. You see, my search title also changing. Title this and limit to publication year 22 or limit to publication year 21. This is the text version of the search. And limit to exact search title in chemosphere, limit to affiliation country India, limit to language English. So if you want to give the query like this, you can also give. Otherwise, you can manually do using this graphical user interface. So I'm getting a paper. So this is the paper which is published in Chemosphere in 2022. One of the author is from India. You see, one of the author is from India, and this is definitely a English paper. Okay, so this way we can actually we can refine our search. We'll talk about later on. One day possibly is not sufficient to discuss. So basically, what is my intention is that one of the search engine could be your Scopus, one of the search engine could be your Google Scholar for literature. You need to know how to search. That you will slowly learn. One day you cannot achieve all the goals. Similarly, we will also have another search domain that is for PubMed. Okay, so PubMed is National Library of Medicine USA. Okay, this is a part of National Center for Biotechnology Information. Here also we can search for article. Here also you can do the same thing. I want to have the author, I want to have the title and abstract, I want this cadmium removal, all those things. For example, I can put search. I can put some advanced search also. Later on I will show, not today. You see how many article came, it is showing you graphically. Effect of cadmium toxicity. So somewhere remove cadmium nanoparticle is there. You see in the article nanoparticle removal, nanoparticle cadmium, these things are there. So basically you can search using one of the approach using National Library of Medicine. One approach is Google Scholar, one approach is Scopus. I have just given you 3 examples. And from there, what is their job? Do you think they're publisher? No, they don't publish. They're indexing. If I click it, you will see that this is not a paper. They're suggesting your paper will be there in MDPI publisher. So this is a publisher where the paper is there. Their job is just to index. Index means maintaining. Okay, I am maintaining all students' registration number. It does not mean that all students stay in my home. Okay, I am having the list only. So similarly, PubMed, Scopus, they are only indexing. Publisher is this is publisher. MDPI is this publisher. Elsevier is a publisher. Springer is a publisher. So you see, I am getting this paper. If I want to read, I can read it depending on whether the paper is free or not. So anyway, today I have to stop it here because I think here I have to stop because already time is over. But sometime this recording you may please check later on so that you have more clarity, and some of the discussion may be all practical example. You see, we talked 45 minutes. Do you find any book or chapter I have highlighted? No. Some of the things you may not find exactly in a book. So some of the things we will be talking which is not related to books, but I can ask you some questions also. So sometime you visit these recordings as and when it is available. Okay, now I am stopping the recording. I hope everyone has given your attendance. If someone has not given, you please put. That's all for the day. Any question and queries you can ask? Is there any questions? Okay.
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Sir,